Study, the podcast where you get to follow along as we figure out how to build and run a SaaS. I'm Brian.
And I'm Benedikt. Each week we'll give you an honest peek into our lives as we work on our projects and keep the lights on by running a lemonade stand. Today is March 10, and I'm feeling very relieved.
Nice. This is episode number 32, and I am still feeling hopeful.
That's nice. As I was saying, just feeling relieved. I was thinking back about the reason. Like the main reason why I'm feeling relieved is that I signed our Userlist tax return for 2019 earlier today.
Nice.
Which is kind of a relief to have it like signed and be done with it. But then again, there's still a little bit of uncertainty there.
In what sense?
I don't know. It's still tough for us to figure this out. Like, we have a CPA, but I'm not super confident about any of what we do there.
Okay. Is the CPA US based because Userlist is a US company?
Yeah, it's a US based CPA. And of course, I also have a CPA for German matters, and I'm quite happy with that part, but with the US one, I'm not
because you're not loving the CPA, or because you're just still getting familiar with US tax code stuff?
I think it's a little bit of both. It's super unfamiliar, so everything is very new to me. For sure. And sometimes I wish, when I ask a question, I'd wish for a more confident answer. We had to fill out additional forms this year that we didn't have to sign the first year, and I was like, hey, so why
is that
required to sign these this year and fill these out? And the answer was, our software told us to fill these out this year. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's reassuring. So I don't know. It just, it's a little bit of me being very unfamiliar with everything and getting very unhelpful answers like this.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, as far as what you paid and what you might owe, is there any uncertainty around that? Like all of that is okay? You're just not loving the process, or what? Yeah.
Okay. I think I mean, we didn't make a profit last year. We made a very small loss, like a straight $380 or something dollars loss. So we're not paying any taxes.
Yep. And
we're basically below every limit there is.
Okay.
Which makes this kind of okay. I'm not too worried about it because essentially we don't owe anything, so there's not that much to screw up. But just as I said, the uncertainty and not being super familiar with everything, and I'm not feeling super confident with the CPA. He's a nice guy, but I don't know, some answers I was hoping for wiser answers on some of my questions.
Gotcha. Is it with an independent CPA, or is it through some firm, or how'd you find them?
I think it's a small firm, it's basically a small firm, and I guess we found them through Claire. She recently, back in the day, she had just signed up with them. But I don't know. It's good enough for now, but I feel like we should be looking for a different solution there and someone else maybe.
That feels like the sort of thing that Stripe would be really well positioned to offer. Either the tax services themselves or at least a list of, experts who are accustomed to working with US-based software companies with international founders. Who better than Stripe than to create that list or offer that service?
Yeah, that would be nice, because the international part is a big one.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Back when we signed up with that firm, we were looking for someone who had at least some experience with that topic. And I mean, apparently they had some, but I'm questioning the level of knowledge there.
Okay. Well, All right.
But I mean, I think we're good for this year, but if this grows and we actually have to start paying taxes,
yes,
I better have.
You want a little bit more.
I better have this figured out.
Yeah. Well, you got 12 months.
Yeah, something like that.
What else were you working on this week?
This was a big one. This took a fair bit of back and forth over the last couple of weeks already, and basically reviewing stuff, asking questions, having things change and stuff like that. So it took a while. I also implemented a JavaScript snippety thing for Userlist and for in-app messages. So in addition to the NPM packages that I built a couple of weeks ago, there's now also a just put the script tag in there solution. Nice. It's not quite as straightforward because we still need that signed JSON Web Token to verify identity, but you generate that on the server side and then add it onto the script tag as a data attribute, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. It automatically connects and shows messages and stuff. And after I did that, I also updated the Ruby and Ruby on Rails gems to include a code to help with generating those tokens. So if you use one of those two libraries, it's basically a one line of code that just takes the user, takes the user identifier and signs it, and then you can put it in the code. And also I added helper methods to the Rails library, so you can basically do user list, script tag in your views, and that's about it. It detects a current user and does all the signing and includes and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully the setup on that front is pretty easy now.
Awesome. Feedback on... Sorry, go ahead.
I still have to put it out there in terms of letting someone use it. That's
okay. Well,
that's the next step.
That's tied into what I was getting ready to ask you about. General feedback on in-app messaging and rolling that out from last week.
Still no progress there, unfortunately. I was planning to get this part pretty much finished, and then to be honest, I'm a little bit shy of letting someone use it because that's the state where I'm not allowed to change it anymore.
Okay.
But it's about time to get some people to use it.
Yeah. Well, all of the feedback seemed to be pretty good.
It's working. And people are hopefully a little bit excited at least. So yeah, I should put it out there now.
Okay. Well, good luck. Hey, how did Userlist Happy Hour go last Thursday?
It was nice. It was a little bit a smaller group this time. I think we were 4 or 5 people. Of course, I forgot what we talked about, but it was a good discussion about a couple of things. And what's really interesting, even though both Jane and I are somewhat familiar with the ecosystem and stuff like that, every single time I learn something new, and even if it's just a small thing, that was something I learned after this, and looking back at it, it's usually small things, but it's still super valuable.
Nice. And can't remember what one of those small things might have been.
Yeah, I remember stuff from other courses. For some reason, I don't remember I don't have it at the top of my mind what the learning the last week was. But even some tricks about how to do Reddit ads and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there have been a couple of big ones, but there was a small thing last week that I can't recall right now.
Okay, cool. Well, it's good. It's good that you had, 4 or 5 people showing up, just doing it consistently, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't able to join this time.
No problem. That's just your loss, I guess.
Yes,
otherwise you'd know what a learning this week was.
Right.
But what was interesting, there was Volkan was there, and of Userlist is his website, if I'm not Userlist, something like that. Okay. He's running a website builder, and he's about to start his own happy hour series because he likes hours so much. So that will be interesting. There will be a spin-off, more or less.
That's cool. That's cool. No, I really I love the idea of, having like a water cooler kind of a thing that people hop into at regularly scheduled times, especially if they're working at small, super tiny companies or by themselves. Like it's great.
Yeah, I think it's super useful to just look beyond your own horizon from time to time and talk to people in similar positions. I mean, it's kind of an ad hoc mastermind call in a way. Yeah. Not that formal and stuff like that, but like discussions are similar, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Anything else going on?
No, that's about it. Not too many exciting things happening on my side. What about you?
Well, similar to same from last week. I did a lot of job searching, been doing some boring resume work, but necessary. And let's see. I found started a good list of openings at companies, openings that look interesting in companies that are remote first or, hyper remote friendly, whatever. And so starting to, putting in more applications there. Friday afternoon, I pretty much spent, lunch and a good chunk of the afternoon with a small startup here in Boulder. And I really like the team. The opening seems pretty tailor fit for where I'm at and what I would do. So just going to continue to explore that one. And just reminds me so much of the startup I was at 2 companies ago. Just in terms of size, stage of the company, role that I would have, like it is very familiar. So
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I feel like it's a good thing.
Okay.
Why would what are you hearing in there that might be a bad thing?
It was an honest question. I didn't hear anything, but sometimes the reason to look for a full-time job is also to do something new and get a little bit like other experiences and stuff like that. So you might be explicitly looking for something else than you already know.
Well, I would not be looking for something new and different from that experience. And so the fact that it reminds me of that company, that stage, and that team, all good things.
Cool.
So, but also, I've got another follow-up interview this week with GitLab. So that process is continuing, and that one I'm pretty darn excited about.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
How many applications do you have running in parallel right now?
Let's see. I have
open up the spreadsheet.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 currently out. And so I could say the one with the one with GitLab I'm super excited about just because of that company. Was that me? And the other one is Elastic. There's a product position with Elastic Search that is pretty darn interesting as well. So anyway, I'll need to go into every single company, but yeah, there's a batch that we'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah. Hey, it's so interesting. Like I talked about this last week. Like I always think about GitLab as an open source project, and having hard time to wrap my head about the fact that they are a really large company, but same thing with Elastic, and like there's so many other companies that came out of open source projects. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's bonkers. So that's that's the big update. The big update for me. Trying to and I guess I'll say like trying to think through as well how I will be able to continue, or what I will do to keep working on Headlamp and doing research and writing things and tinkering around through this whole process. So, no.
Yeah. Cool. So before this, before starting the recording, we talked about like, what do you do with the podcast? Like, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I suppose like, I mean, I want to keep it going, and I think you want to keep it going as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the big question is, what do we do about updates, or does it need to continue to be weekly, or should we go to every other week? And we were saying like we both like weekly just for the regularity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in terms of how much progress to share, or weekly for me right now feels like a little bit.
There's not the last, like this episode and the last one are obviously quite short ones.
Yeah.
Because there's not that much to report.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to think through, would there be a way to do short piece of updates, and then talking about a topic from the bootstrapping world that week, or something else like that. That could be pretty interesting. Maybe also getting guests on here more often. That's, that might be
that might be an interesting twist.
Get into like every other
change,
week, every other.
Yeah.
Yeah, get into an every other week with a guest. I could see that.
Yeah, me too. But like, listeners out there, if you have suggestions for topics or guests, please let us know.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. I want to keep it going because I really enjoy this. It's super. It's fun. It's helpful for the accountability and the regularity and the common schedule, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to be sure that we also keep it fresh and valuable for listeners,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, cool.
I discovered this week, that we moved recording day from Wednesday to Tuesday. For some reason, it's way easier to come up with basically sum up what happened since the last week, because now it's basically almost weekend to weekend, which makes it easier to reason about it.
Yes, that's true. That's true, as opposed to middle of the week to middle of the week, no doubt.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird.
Yeah, well, good. So, are you suggesting we bump it to Monday now?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't make much difference to me, actually.
No, I don't think it changes that much. But yeah, it was interesting to see that it was way easier to draw the line about things that happened this week and things that happened the week before that. Yeah. Yep. Cool.
All right. Well, think we can call it there?
Yeah. This is a very short one, but that's how it is.
It
Not
is.
much to report.
Listeners, hit us up if you've got ideas or what you think about the format. Thoughts on what you would like to hear us do. We're open to it.
Yep. Looking forward to hear from you.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Yep. Bye.